If you are overwhelmed, that's very common because in today's days, there's so many information, so much things to do. Even the technology is helps us, but we taking a lot of things and we get, to ourselves and getting overwhelmed because we thinking of overachieving and all the stuff. So if you're a small business owner or if you are a self-employed and you are overwhelmed, or even you're working for yourself, you're working for a company where you have freedom of time, you can work anytime, and you can work different kind of things, you have a growth opportunity, there is a high possibility you will get overwhelmed. Now, how do we control the overwhelming? In this video I'm going to break it down, what makes us getting overwhelmed, and then the strategy to fix it. Because if you follow these steps, I can guarantee you that you will reduce your overwhelming. Because remember, the overwhelming is not just about you getting overwhelmed, not making the right decision, and so, because it can also create a lot of stress, and that stress can create cortisol in your body, and that ends up a lot of health problem. Even though you may be a healthy person, you may be eating healthy, you drinking a lot of water, and you have a lot of healthy habits like exercise or cardio, but still you can have health problem because you are overwhelmed. So let's dig through it, and hopefully this video definitely give you some points, at least one point, you can adopt and you can implement, and that is my main goal here. Whenever you see something resonate with you, please make a comment, let me know what do you think about it, and then if I have to create another video on particular point, I will do that. But my goal is here, my friend, for you to not get overwhelmed in today's overwhelming world, and everything is in your control, so you can enjoy the life every single day, day by day, not to waste your day or not to waste your time getting overwhelmed or getting stressed out. Okay, so let's dig through it. Basically, overwhelming has three different parts. Number one is, in our coach Tom Ferry always say that overwhelming means under planning. There's a little bit more to that. That is 100% right. We get overwhelmed because we don't have a plan for the day, and then we jump on the day, open email, being reactive, and running behind. Things are asked for to me. Like, I'm not controlling my day. Somebody else um, controlling my day. So under planning is definitely one of the big reason, and I'm going to dissect that, how not to be underplanned, how can you plan right, not to be, we don't have to be a genius to plan, but there's a lot of easy way you can plan your day. Number two is not over planning, because overthinking, trying to achieve everything, try to win everything, like overthinking on one little thing, that could be another reason for being overwhelmed. And number three is, sometimes things happen without telling you. So even though you have a lot of plans, so one thing, the boxing legend Mike Tyson said that everyone has a plan until they get a punch on the throat, and that is true also. Sometimes we all get punch on the throat. Now, what can we do at that time? That can be, make us overwhelmed also. So let's go one at a time. Let's talk about the planning, what to do. You can plan very simple way in a one paper, blocking some time. Like, you can have like, okay, there are like a three different hours in the morning, three different hours in the midday, three different hours in the afternoon. And what are the big things you want to achieve, and then focus on that. So that's the way you will not have a tendency to flow away from your plan. So what you want to do, you want to have a right structure. I like Google Calendar. So certain things happen every single day, so you block your time, certain meetings. And also in the Google Calendar, good thing is you can always go back. You can even download the calendar and put it on the chat GPT and send and ask chat GPT, hey, look at my calendar and see what can I do to make it better. And then you also give ChatGPT a goal, like, this is my goal, this is the way I want to run my day, this is the way these are the things, these are the things I want to achieve at the end of the month or end of the quarter. So looking at my calendar, last 2 months of calendar or 1 month of calendar, give me some advice. How can I make it better? And you'll be amazed to see that there are certain things we don't see with our eye. And then the AI is telling you, hey, after analyzing, I see you can do this little move, these little changes and make it better. So I'll suggest you that definitely have a plan, make a calendar. Sunday plan is very good for the whole week, or Monday early morning, first thing in the morning. Every single day, first thing in the morning, 10-15 minutes. Try to see the day, how it going. And then, so you're going to have like a, in your head, okay, these are the things I want to achieve. And this is the plan. Okay. Number two is you may be saying yes to everybody. You cannot say yes to everybody. Remember, when you say saying yes to somebody, you saying no to somebody. How you saying yes to somebody? Somebody called you, okay? Now that call you are expecting for 5 minutes and went for 15 minutes because that other person talks a lot. You have to stop that person. In 4 minutes, you say, "Hey, I have to go because I'm sorry because we can talk later about it." You know, that's the way you can cut it. Because when you saying yes to something, automatically you saying no to something. So stop saying yes to everyone or everything. Learn how to say no. And the way you realize that this thing is yes or no for you, the question you ask to yourself, is this fitting my goal? Is this action I'm doing right now, I'm talking to that person, I'm doing this thing, or I'm surfing the web, or I'm scrolling through social media, is that aligned with the goal, my plan I have? And then the answer will be like a black and white. And you can say like, you know what, I have to say no to this because this does not align with my goal. Other way under planning is because you want to do everything by yourself. That you have to see like, if you have 10 things to do, check like what 5 things I can give it to somebody to do, because there's only so much time in the day, and then only so many things and so many big things you can achieve during the day, because big thing has big value, small little things has small little value. So that's the way you can say, these are the things I can delegate to somebody, and you can get your time back, and then you will not be overwhelmed. Because when you're doing too many things back to back and you don't even have time to breathe, you will be overwhelmed. Other thing also, in the planning is lack of energy management. We have to maintain the energy. For example, first thing in the morning, we're ready to work and we are very energetic, okay? But we working. And then what happens? Two common things happens. One, we forget to drink water, or maybe we forget to eat also. Another thing also, maybe we ate a lot of sugary thing, maybe a latte or some kind of drink has a lot of sugar. Those can affect your energy. Also, like I'm working continuously like at a stretch on the computer 3-4 hours, that can drop the energy, that can kill the energy. What you have to do, you have to come up with your own solution. How can you have that little break in between? So for example, there's a Pomodoro technique where you work for 25 minutes, take a 5-minute break. That's actually, I don't follow that because only 25 minutes is not good enough to focus. I normally keep like an hour chunk. So 1 hour work, shift to something else, and then another hour work, and in between, take some time to breathe, take some time to celebrate the success you had. This is so important. Get off from your chair, take a walk. Always have a bottle of water on your desk that will remind you to drink the water. And then track how much water you're drinking, because hydration is very important to keep the energy going. The next one is on the planning. You have to know what is productive and what's being busy. Productive doesn't mean being busy. Productive means, yeah, you're working hard, but that simple chunk of time you put, simple chunk of work you did, and then that gives a huge result. And then busy is you doing so many things but not real result. Stephen Covey has something called 4-quadrant. 4-quadrant is you just make a cross like that. The very first one on the top left corner, it's called important and urgent. Okay, then there is a important, there is a urgent, not important, and there is a not important, not urgent. Okay, we're going to display that right here, so you'll see what do I mean. But what you do, the reason for doing that, when you put something on the not urgent, not important, eliminate those. Okay. Then something is urgent and important, block a time for that. This is urgent, you got to do that, but maybe not like a all day long. Like this certain half an hour, take it away, get the trouble out of the room. Then the important and urgent are very important, because those are like a urgent and also is very important. So you got to take, do by yourself. And there will be like a something is important but not urgent. Those are the things you can delegate to somebody, because those are important but not urgent. You can do it maybe later on. It's not urgent, so you can do later on the day or maybe tomorrow. So you can delegate those work to give it to somebody, or you do it in a different time. And that quadrant is very, very important. Check that out. Now the last thing is very important. I'm going to talk about the planning. When you plan, you always focus on the outcome. Do not focus what somebody else's need, or somebody else is pushing you, or somebody else's like they're overwhelming you, so you say, oh my, let's get it done. No, always focus on the outcome. Means whatever you're doing, what kind of value you're getting for that, or your business getting for that. It doesn't have to be a monetary value always. Of course, monetary value. Of course, the in a long term value you building for the business. Of course, the certain value is more stronger for your business. And business time is business time, family time is family time. So when you giving time to the family, the value has to be family value related. When you're going doing an exercise, it has to be health value related. But you don't want to go do exercise and talking on the phone on the client. That's not serving the purpose, because that is not giving you the value you really want. Same thing, when you planning for your business hours, you have to make sure that, okay, I want to do these two or three things that bring the most value for my work, for my business, for my for me to get the highest and the best result. So bottom line is always focus on the outcome of that plan you're doing, because many times we forget to focus on the outcome, and we go with the urgency. So focus on the outcome. Okay, now in the segment number 2, I like to talk about the getting overwhelmed when something happens unexpectedly. Yes, we you have a lot of plan, you are a planful person. I maybe I'm planning, but economy happened, COVID happened, somebody died in the family, something happened. Okay, because I see there are some people, things happens to their life, and they're so overwhelmed, they're not even appreciating the good thing happening in their life, and they're losing it more. They're losing family member, they're losing friends, they're losing business. I don't want you to be in that position. So the best thing to do when unexpected thing happens is to step back. You step back, because this problem happened in front of you, you have no control to that. So you step back. It's not your fault that is happened. Even though you have a little fault, whatever, who cares? Don't judge yourself. So you step back, and you watch the problem, you analyze the problem, and you do what you can control. Remember one thing, I'm going to tell you here. You cannot control the uncontrollable. If something not controllable, either ask for help or let go. Have that attitude that ask for help. So this is not in my control. Ask for help. Or this is not in my control right now. Put it for later on if it's possible. But do not get overwhelmed being in the middle of the trouble. Like step back and look at the trouble, and that's the way you make the best decision. Because when you are overwhelmed, you know that you don't make the best decision, because your brain is not cool, and then you are not at your best state of mind, because you have to be at the best state of mind to make the best decision. So this is very important. Many time, these days, like things are happening, people are dying in the family, your close friends, something happens to your business, something, maybe you lose money or whatever, some health crisis came. You always have to step back and control the controllable, and that's what the win is. Last part is over planning. What is over planning means? This is not a real planning. Over planning means overthinking. Okay, I have to do these things. Yes, suppose I have to do a marketing, and then I'm thinking for months about planning to it, making it perfect. What can I do? And looking for that little minor changes. And what happens here? By the time the month passed by, 2 months passed by, somebody else already did it. Somebody else already got the result, and I'm behind. So overthinking is not important. You probably saw a lot of super successful people like Mark Zuckerberg or Elon Musk. A lot of time you'll see like they are wearing the same kind of single, or Gary V actually also same like a gray shirt. I think the Mark Zuckerberg has like a whole lot of the same thing, gray and black or whatever that he was telling in one of the videos. And the reason behind, they don't want to put their mind into what to wear today. I know that many times we spend a lot of time on okay, I'm going over here, so I need to on this event, and I have to wear this, and whatever it is, like I'm even something like making a mail piece. You designing a postcard, and you're spending your hours and days to design the postcard. So don't do that. Take the action right away, especially the marketing, sales, making the call. Don't make your call perfect. Do it anyway. And then, you can always make it perfect later on. So over analyzing, not to let go that 1%, because anything you do, you're going to win some, you're going to lose some. All you have to do, like, okay, which one I'm not losing too much? That's all you have to do. And then make a decision what you think is better for you and then go for it. Because like Tony Robbins said, like one option is not good. Two options is too little. You have to have at least three options. So when you're making a decision for not to get overwhelmed, if you have to pick one option, have three options and then pick the best one. Minimum three. It could be 5 or 10. Okay. So when you're doing a marketing piece or coming up with the idea to create a video, have multiple subjects and then pick, okay, this is the one. Pick and go. Do not wait for making it perfect. Do not wait for that, okay, is this I'm going to get a lot of view. You do it. If you get view is good. If you don't, perfect the next one, because consistency is the one is going to give you the result, not the perfection. So do not get overwhelmed with overthinking in anything. And that'll be your last one. And let me know, out of these three, which one you think you need to take action to get it corrected or trim it a little bit. And just to recap, number one thing is lack of planning. Lack of planning means, we do not plan the day and we let it go as the world taking us to go. Like, remember, the dead fish is the only one who flow with the flow of the water, not the live fish. Live fish flow with the plan. So you want to be alive fish, not the dead fish. So plan right. Okay, that's number one. Number two, if something happened out of your plan, step back and control the controllable. And number three, do not overthink. Just make a decision within 24 to 48 hours, implement it, because the real result is in the implementation, not on the overthinking, not on the over perfecting. It's in the implementation consistency. So my friend, do not raise your cortisol with stress, and so it does not worth at the end of the day. It does not worth to get stressed and take that on your health, in your business, in your relationship, or anywhere in your life. I like to see your comment. If you like this kind of subject, this kind of video, please let me know so I can get inspired to create more video for you. And if you want to see certain detailed strategy how to plan, and so let me know, so I can always share screen, share Google Calendar, and go through like a different challenges I see in my coaching clients, and I guide them how to get through that and get that success they want. I can definitely do that, the strategy wise. This one was just for the information purpose, for you to, acknowledge and take some action. But strategic thing, I can do that. Give me a comment. I'll be happy to do that. Thanks for watching. I see you in the next video. I'm always all the best.